After feeding the software with the resource information aside with its cost and units of consumption, now we need to correct the number of resources we have for each task. As you remember, we had individualistic consumption rates. For instance, the cost manual says that we need 4 carpenters, but here we specified 1. We will correct this again to 4. Notice here the quantities of all workers were updated except for the labor. And whenever this happens, you could easily correct it by deleting all the crew and updating resources from quantities again. Now the quantities of workers should update the way that we wanted. So when we set 4 carpenters, Veeco should automatically set for us 2 laborers, as specified by the cost estimation manual. And we will need to do the same thing for the rest of the tasks. We need here 3 cement finishers as specified here. We also need 1 plumber, which is already there. We need also 4 carpenters. So here we have a mistake. We need to check and see what has gone wrong. Go to the quantity takeoff for the formwork, and the problem is here, is that labor's distributed consumption rate was mistakenly inserted, so this should be 1.08 instead. And also we need to specify this as a task driver, and we need to check that this consumption rate is the same as what we calculated. Click OK, double click, go and delete all this, and update again, and that sets the quantities of workers to the correct value. So we needed 4 carpenters, okay, and that's it. The next step is to set the supply limit of resources. So we'll do this by going to resource registry again, and we need to set the maximum usage of each resource. Let's make an assumption here that we only have 1 carpenter foreman, 4 carpenters, 1 equipment operator, 1 concrete foreman. So this is my assumption about the maximum usage of resources. By doing so, now if I go to the tasks and I want to increase the number of resources in any of these tasks, for example, if I wish to increase the number of laborers here to 5, a message will appear that by doing so, this resource type will exceed its maximum usage. Okay. And also, if we exceed the number of maximum usage of any resource, then whatever task needs this resource while the resource is busy in another task, that task will be postponed until the resource is released. Take for example these 2 tasks. The formwork slab on grade needs 0.5 labor, and the formwork for the column needs 2 labor. So overall, these 2 tasks cannot work concurrently because the maximum usage of labors will be exceeded. Let's try to remove the dependency between these tasks and see what happens. Notice here that the formwork for the column did not start until the formwork for the slab and grade has been finished, although there was no dependency between them. And this is because the formwork for the column was not able to start unless the labor has been released from the formwork slab on grade task.